Hello and welcome to Grand Prix Minneapolis. I'm Randy Bueller, joined by Jake Van Lunen. We are ready for round 13. If the top 8 was being determined right now, both of these guys would be in it. Number 19 ranked Sean McLaren, number 15 ranked Willie Edel. Of course, top 8's not ready yet. These guys are 11-1 so far.
Two very talented guys.
Now they have to play each other. Who do you like in this matchup?
I'm going to go with Willie. He's playing Jund. This is definitely a Willie Edel type of deck. Jund, in general, fares pretty well against these controlling type of decks that just try to grind you out because he has just as much value in his cards. If at any point Sean McLaren doesn't have the right answer to the question, then he finds himself in a really bad situation. Planeswalkers in particular are particularly strong against Sean's deck.
Yeah, Sean's got blue-white-red again, like similar to the deck that he won the Pro Tour with, but because he was expecting a metagame full of combo instead of a metagame full of zoo, which is what he saw in Valencia, he's actually gone for the combo finish. He's got Restoration Angels, he's got Kiki Jikis. Kiki Jiki's kind of a value card. There's one in his hand right now. If it came down, he could be, spitting off copies of Wall of Roots, effectively tapping it to draw a card, and potentially block. Well, Abrupt Decay takes that wall out of play. Anyway, Sean's deck definitely finishes the game sooner. It can play a control-ish game, but it can also win on the spot. Willie's got a Tarmogoyf for turn 3. What is that? Instant creature land for 3/4?
Yeah, it looks like Sean has a Remand and an Electrolyze in hand, so he has some options here with his mana.
Do you just Remand Tarmogoyf now?
I don't know if it's worth it. I think you might want to save the Remand for a bigger spell. I mean, you're playing against a Jund deck, you're playing against Willie. Willie's definitely got some 4-drops in there. He might even have a 5-drop or 2 in the deck. You can really get a lot more value out of the Remand than just getting that Tarmogoyf. But maybe he does decide to just...
I know, isn't a lot of its value just buying you time and cycling through your deck?
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, I like this line. I think you just point that at the first threatening thing that happens, and dig through your deck, stall their game, buy yourself time to stitch your combo together.
And it looks like he actually has his combo now. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is that Angel Kiki Chiki?
He has the Angel and the Kiki Chiki.
Does he have a third red mana?
He does. In fact, he has an Arid Mesa in hand.
Really? So
yeah.
Willie replays Tarmogoyf, and Sean is just like, sounds good, kill you?
Well, I think Willie could easily have a removal spell that kills either the Angel or the Kiki Jiki.
What removal spell does Jund typically play?
I mean, he could Lightning Bolt the Kiki Jiki.
Sure. I mean, Abrupt Decay will not get the job done. Lightning Bolt will. So Sean does play the end-step Restoration Angel. There's nothing to flicker, but that's fine. He just wanted to get it into play. Now, he has a Kiki Jiki, which, if it resolves and lives, can just make a copy of Restoration Angel, which will flicker the Kiki Jiki, which will immediately come back untapped, which can make a copy of the Restoration Angel. Net result is however many hasty Restoration Angel copies Sean wants to make. He has cracked a fetch land and gotten planes? That's not 3 red mana.
Oh, well, he's Cascade Bluffs. It's a filter land.
Oh, filter land.
Yeah,
Cascade
so
Bluffs.
I thought that was also a...
So he goes for it.
Yeah.
Kiki Jiki, make a copy of the Angel. Does he have the Lightning Bolt? Yes. Lightning Bolt takes out Kiki Jiki. Yeah, I don't think Sean has any way to even potentially answer that. So Kiki Jiki's down. 1 copy of the Angel does come into play, which Sean uses to just attack, so drops Willie to 13. I think you go for it there.
Oh,
I mean, it's not like his hand gives him a way to defend it if he waited a turn. I mean, if he had, like, Land Dispel or something, sure, but Snapcaster Mage on Remand, he's not going to get 4 more mana. You just go for it. And he actually has a chance of winning this race against the Tarmogoyf anyway. He got in 6 with the Angel last turn. The Angel and the copy of the Angel. And now Tarmogoyf is creature land instant. Is that all we got?
It's creature land instant still. Yeah.
Yeah, so that Angel actually outraces Tarmogoyf right now.
Willie looking like he has a Chandra in his hand. Also another Tarmogoyf, though.
opts for Liliana of the Veil.
And that's great there.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Presumably, he'll use the minus ability. Yeah. Sean McLaren's forced to sacrifice a creature. He's only got the one. That's really the dream with Liliana.
Yeah.
Ideally, you play it. They have one creature. Comes into play with a counter, and their board is now empty.
Restoration Angel, very strong card against Planeswalkers in general. The fact that it comes down at instant speed on somebody's end step allows you to leave open mana to interact with them, and then is able to just kill the Planeswalker before the Planeswalker has a chance to interact with the creature itself.
Yeah, and Sean does have an additional Restoration Angel, so he can kill Liliana next turn.
Still has another land in hand besides the Scalding Tarn that he played there, an Arid Mesa, so he's going to discard that most likely when Willie ticks up this Liliana.
He does have the option of electrolyzing Willie, redirecting the damage to the Liliana.
Yeah,
would you run that play?
No, I feel like just like putting mana into just killing the Liliana seems like a little much because you don't have to. The Restoration Angel will get the job done anyway, and if you play the Electrolyze, then you won't have the mana to play your Angel, and it's important to get onto the board, I think, here.
Okay, Willie does, as we expected, uses the +1 ability of Liliana to force both players to discard a card. Willie's got his chosen. Sean chooses the spare land he had. And now Liliana's on 2 counters. Tarmogoyf is like, land and land? I'm still only a 3/4.
Just a 2-mana 3/4. Yeah, Tarmogoyf, very sizable for its casting cost.
What's Willie thinking about now?
Well, he has Chandra in hand. He also has a Tarmogoyf. I'm not sure what else he's looking at here. I think he's deciding if he can get punished by attacking here.
I mean, Restoration Angel followed by Lightning Bolt would punish him. Because the Restoration Angel would survive combat with the 3/4 Tarmogoyf, and then Lightning Bolt would be able to finish it off. Restoration Angel plus Electrolyze cannot quite punish him. The other thing is, even if Restoration Angel did come down in the combat phase, Liliana would just kill it.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is if Restoration Angel does come down and block that Tarmogoyf,
Oh, he's
then the
already used
Restoration
Liliana.
Angel,
Never mind.
Well, the Restoration Angel would have 3 damage on it then, and
Right.
then Willie could cast a post-combat Chandra Pyromaster and finish it off. So
yeah, Willie wishes Restoration Angel to come down. That's a good point. All right, so Willie decides not to cast the Chandra? Or the Tarmogoyf.
interesting.
Is he worried about Wrath of God effects? And Sean decides not to cast the Restoration Angel.
Interesting.
Tarmogoyf is happy about this. Tarmogoyf is like, I'm a 4/5 now. This is much better. Planeswalker in the graveyard, that's what I wanted. He's not really a team player, the Tarmogoyf.
He's happy when everybody else loses.
Pretty much.
It's the way of the Lurgoyf.
Yeah, I'm surprised by no Restoration Angel. I guess that untapped mana maybe threw him off.
Yeah, I mean, here Willie has still his cards in hand. You know, they're very clearly like actual cards that do something, and he's not playing anything. So, if you're Sean, what could Willie have? What does he have? Terminate? Does he have? I guess Willie could even have something like Willie could have a handful of things like Anger of the Gods and whatnot. So, maybe he just has blanks.
I think Sean just figured that Restoration Angel by itself wasn't going to win him the game. He kind of wants to get more value out of it, I guess.
From the looks of it, he found himself a
he found a Snapcaster Mage. That's
which is
exactly the kind of value
yeah.
Angel can give you. Wow. Doesn't sound like that's the line either one of us would have chosen, but
It's not.
Sean knew what he was doing.
Sean knew what he was doing. Sean knew what he was doing. Sean knew what he was doing. Sean knew what he was doing. Sean knew what he was doing. Sean knew what he was doing. Sean knew what he was doing. Sean knew what he was doing. Sean knew what he was doing. Sean knew what he was doing. Sean knew what he was doing. Sean knew what he was doing. Sean knew what he was doing. Sean knew what he was doing. Sean knew what he was doing. Sean knew what he was doing. Sean knew what he was doing. Sean knew what he was doing. Sean knew what he was doing. Sean knew what he was doing. Sean knew what he was doing. Sean knew what he was doing. Sean knew what he was doing. Sean knew what he was doing. Sean knew what he was doing. Sean knew what he was doing. Sean knew what he was doing. Sean knew what he was doing. Sean
All right. Tarmogoyf attacks. Sean trying to figure out whether he wants to do something. He decides to summon Snapcaster. What's going to get flashback? Electrolyze? Electrolyze. So that's a 4/5 Tarmogoyf, right?
It is a 4/5 Tarmogoyf.
So Snapcaster plus
And
Electrolyze is not actually enough to kill it.
Yeah, there are other instances in the graveyard, so when that Electrolyze leaves the graveyard, it's not going to make the Tarmogoyf smaller.
And there's now a Planeswalker in the graveyard, so...
Yeah.
I think he just wants to... Oh, he can now Angel here. But then he can't Electrolyze. Huh. Path to Exile. I guess he summoned the Snapcaster and used it as a blocker just to see if he could bait Willie into doing something. Like, if he could somehow bait Willie into pointing creature removal at Snapcaster, Restoration Angel could come swooping in for extra value.
Yeah, it's definitely true, and I mean, I think a lot of this play might just be that he is...
Not sure what his opponent's got?
Yeah, he's just trying to figure it out. I mean, the Snapcaster Mage being there means that, you know, Willie is going to be pressured by that Snapcaster. He is Raging Ravine, I guess, so maybe it's not that much pressure, but...
Yeah, Willie's trying to figure out what Sean's got, too. I'm pretty sure Willie declined to play Tarmogoyf last turn. I mean, to me, that looks like he's living in fear of Supreme Verdict, which we know McLaren doesn't even have in his list.
He could also be afraid of Cryptic Command. And here he's going to play into the Cryptic.
Fair. He could have just been nervous about getting it countered.
If you have counter magic and voice is good against that anyway, and if you have no problem on it,
It's funny, this Tarmogoyf resolves.
yeah, but then
Chandra is pretty good against Snapcaster. You know, if Sean had sequenced his spells differently, like if he just paths the Tarmogoyf without bothering to Snapcaster targeting Electrolyze, then he could Snapcaster targeting Path, get rid of the Tarmogoyf. He could also have not opened the Snapcaster up to a Chandra Pyromancer. I mean, it made sense why Sean was doing what he was doing at the time, but it didn't work out this turn.
Yeah, and I mean, now
The sequencing worked out particularly bad. Because now he can kind of sort of save the Snapcaster with the Angel, but then he doesn't get to use the Electrolyze and doesn't get to use whatever... Yeah, so fine, he flickers the Snapcaster. He gets the Snapcaster back, but its ability doesn't do anything because he's tapped out.
Yeah, and he has no cards in his hand now.
And he can't even flicker the Path.
Can't kill the Chandra next turn with what he has on board. Oh, I guess he can colonnade it, but then he's got to sink an entire turn into that.
Yeah, that turn didn't work out great for Sean.
And I think he's got to use the colonnade here.
Yeah, get rid of Chandra.
You can't just leave the Chandra on the board.
It's going to take both his creatures to kill her, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit of overkill, but what are you going to do? Not going to let your opponent keep a Planeswalker.
Oh, or he is.
Really? 7 to the face?
Yep.
Wow. I guess that's a 2-turn clock. Willie's out of cards. Willie is out of cards. Sean was just like, yeah, you can have Chandra. I'm going to kill you in 2 turns unless you come up with an answer basically right now. I mean, there's a Raging Ravine amongst Willie's lands, but that's not fast enough. Snapcaster got stuck around just long enough to chump block. Huh. Sequencing in that last turn looked off for Sean, but I think that...
Now it's interesting. I mean, Sean still isn't home free, though.
Why not?
I mean, there could be any number of cards that Willie could have drawn here.
Yeah, but I mean, he's home free other than Willie. He has to fade 1 draw step.
Yes, he has to fade
Like
a draw
his
step,
line,
and he
I
also
think
has to fade a Chandra activation if... So, Willie is Willie's thinking about
Lining up an attack.
lining up with this Raging Ravine.
Yeah, I mean, I think that on the axis, Sean was looking at the Angel plus Colonnade line the whole time, and like all of the Snapcaster shenanigans were just they weren't what mattered to him last turn. What mattered to him was this 2-turn clock. sort of forcing his opponent to react. And if he could get his opponent to reveal what was going on, hey, even better. Yeah, Willie lining up a potential attack with the Raging Ravine.
And Chandra, I mean, not the greatest here. He needs to either use that Chandra to find a way to kill the Angel. I mean, unless he drew an actual answer to the Angel or the Colonnade.
Right. If he didn't draw an answer to one of those flyers with his draw phase, he's going to have to use the middle ability of Chandra. 0, exile the top card of your library. You may play it this turn. It's essentially Elkin Bottle if you've been playing long enough.
I don't think I've heard that one mentioned in a very, very long
Elkin
time.
Bottle? Oh, you didn't play enough Magic with Eric Lauer back in the day. If there was a way to use it to acquire card advantage, Eric Lauer and or Andrew Cuneo found it. Played against many an Elkin Bottle back in the day.
So here, I mean, it's been a little while since the last play was made, but you know, this is essentially the most important point of the game. Is what's happening right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think Willie's looking. He could use Chandra to kill Snapcaster and deal 1. He could then attack with Raging Ravine Tarmogoyf, but that line doesn't work. Wall of Omens blocks one of them. The other one gets through for not enough damage to kill Sean. Can't even get him in Lightning Bolt range, so I don't know what Willie could have that Sean would even be scared of. Sean has essentially tapped out and said, dude, I'm going to just kill you next turn. If Willie drew a relevant spell, okay. If he didn't draw a way to answer one of those flyers, though, he should just look at the top card with Chandra. He must have drawn a relevant spell, right? He wouldn't be doing all this thinking. He's going to do the attack before he sees the card with Chandra?
It seems odd because if he wasn't going to use that ability of the Chandra, then
he
you would have
kill
imagined that he would have killed something pre-combat also.
Yeah, exactly. He would kill the Snapcaster. Like, doesn't Snapcaster just auto-block here? I mean, the Raging Ravine's big enough to... Yeah, the Snapcaster block is easy. Yeah. Does a point. And a Lightning Bolt. Oh, okay. He drew the Lightning Bolt, so... Chandra plus the Lightning Bolt tag team to kill Restoration Angel. Now what? Now Willie's on 5. Celestial Colonnade can deal 4 of that. But Sean dies to Raging Ravine plus Tarmogoyf, right? Yeah, Colonnade, I'm at 1. You got the bolt? Oh, second wall of Omens is gigantic. Chandra has the ability to make prevent one of those walls from blocking, but the other one is going to be able to block one of those creatures, and the other one's not lethal. Tarmogoyf, I think, is a 4 power.
It has 5 power right now.
Is it up to 5? Yeah, I mean, okay, so 5 plus 4.
Oh, no, it's still at 4.
I thought, yeah. I don't know what the 5th thing would be. There are no sorceries in either. Wow. Wall of Omens off the top was gigantic.
Ooh.
Chandra reveals Scavenging Ooze. Is that enough? Is there enough food? Willie would have to gain 4 life. He does have 4 green sources, right? And there are 4 creatures to eat. Yes? Angel, Kiki Chiki, Snapcaster. Is there a second angel over there?
Standard sealed players, your pairings.
Looks like... Oh, no, he doesn't have enough...
He only has 3 green? Well, no, he has 4 green.
But one of them is... one of them he'll have to use to cast the ooze.
Check. Wow. Thoughtseize. Let me look at your hand. Yeah, I'll show you. I get him holding a land. Close game. Sean McLaren takes it.
A very close game.
Willie Edel, Chandra, tag teamed with a bolt to kill 1 angel. Could have made cleared a path with the you can't block ability, but Sean top decked the Wall of Omens. Willie almost top decked with Chandra, but one green source short of gaining the 4 life he needed to gain to survive another Colonnade hit. Close game.
3 of his Black Cleave Cliffs in play.
Right. Yeah, how much land does he have that doesn't tap for green? Is that just a bad beat draw? He has the 4 Black Cleave Cliffs.
He has 5 lands that don't tap for green.
There's 2 swamps.
Okay, never
Sounds like
mind.
6.
7 then. Right, because he also has a Blood Crypt, I assume?
One Blood Crypt, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so that's not ridiculous beat. He had 7 lands.
7 lands that don't tap for green, and he happened to have 4 of them in play.
He had 3 of them in play with 4. No, he had 4 of them in
He
play?
had 4 of them in
8.
play. Yeah.
Slightly awkward, but,
Yeah.
I mean, you run a 3-color deck. These things happen.
Exactly. And I mean, his mana was certainly fine there. I mean, it wasn't.
Yeah. And you're going to get a look at Sean McLaren. Number 19 in the top 25 pro rankings right now. On the strength of that Pro Tour Born of the Gods win. He's looking forward to Atlanta, I'm sure. Willie also looking forward to Pro Tour journeying into next weekend. Sitting at 15th in the pro rankings. He does have less pro points this year with the 32 number, but those pro rankings are, of course, a blended average of last year and this year.
And he is well on his way to platinum.
Yeah, both players are platinum this year. Sean will be platinum next year on the strength of that Pro Tour win. Willie's got a little bit of work left to do, but he's on track. I think that's the right way to look at it. He's on track to reacquire his platinum status.
Especially considering that his Pro Tour performances this year have been not as good as they could have been. So, I mean, as long as he picks up, does well at the next couple Pro Tours.
Yeah, or the top 8 here, he's almost there. What was the number? 30. Well, you need
32.
35. He's got how many pro points? this
32.
season? Oh, if you need 45, and he's on 32. So he's guaranteed 6 from the next 2 PTs. That's 38. He needs 7 above the minimum. Could pick him up this weekend.
He can.
Win this GP, done. Clinched.
Platinum for Willie Edel.
All right, peek in on, this is LSV's game, right? LSV is ice player on the left. He's got a Gavany Township running, I assume, from those counters. Must be the shiny land that I can't quite see. Double Hierarchs have 2 counters on them. Oh, he's playing again. Is that a Fairies deck on the other side?
It is a fairy stack.
Bitter Blossom in the
Secluded
yard.
Glen.
Harmonic Sliver doing some work, blowing up Bitter Blossom. Yeah, so Luis
Voice of Resurgence seems pretty good against fairies.
Voice of Resurgence does seem good against fairies. True story.
Hadn't really thought about that one.
Nice deck. Here's my 2-drop. My 2-drop beats your entire deck. Luis's opponent is Carlos Morale. So that's the fairies player here. These guys are on 30 points, so that's 10-2 at this point.
Okay.
Top 8, live for top 8 with 3 rounds to go. I mean, the winner here is hoping they can go win-draw. Probably has to go win-win.
Fairy's not a very popular modern deck right now.
No,
Pretty
it's
cool
the
this
first
guy
one
made
I've
it this
seen on
deep.
camera. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carlos Morale. While cool, it doesn't look like the run's going to continue.
No, the playing against the Voice of Resurgence deck is pretty rough.
What game is this, Rashad? Can we get word? I don't know if... Does Luis start that Harmonic Sliver, or is that in from the board?
I think he has 1 main, yeah.
In game 2?
Who won first game?
I mean, Luis has 3 Voice of Resurgence main. Gotta like his chances here. Wow, here's another instant
Isn't he
speed spell.
4?
I think he's 3. Yeah, another Voice of Resurgence token. Yeah, Luis is up a game and looking good. In this game, we're going to go back over to the main table. Willie Edel leads with a Thoughtseize. Sean McLaren reveals a hand with 2 Lightning Bolts and a Path to Exile, 4 lands. Path to Exile seems like the obvious choice there. Leaving Sean with 4 lands and a couple Lightning Bolts. Not a great draw. I see Courser of Crewfix in Willie's hand, making that Path to Exile choice even easier. Ooh, and Tarmogoyf just came off the top, right on schedule for turn 2.
Yeah, made sure that he
Pump
played
fakes
that
him.
fetch land.
Pump fakes the forest, decides to go for the fetch land instead.
Make sure that the 4 toughness is there for that Goyf.
Yeah, no, getting that land in the graveyard is important. Just instant and sorcery would have left it vulnerable. Lightning Bolt could have killed the 2/3 Tarmogoyf.
Yeah, Courser of Crewfix making quite a splash in Modern this weekend. I've seen it quite a bit as I've been walking around. Great card.
Yeah.
Lives through Bolt, produces card advantage, gives you a bit of life against a lot of the decks in the format.
Here is Courser of Crewfix. He's already played a land this turn, so would not have gotten to play a land for free. Instead, it's just Liliana. How much do you think it hurts that your opponent gets to see all your draw phases?
When you're playing Jund, probably not that much. Right, like you're
It is
you're
a drawback.
playing with it's certainly a drawback.
I expected you to come with
I mean, my intuition agrees with yours. It's not that big a deal.
Like
It's
you
not
don't
nothing.
you don't have the same type of like Kiki Jiki and Splinter Twin shenanigans that would make it pretty detrimental. But your opponent having that information is certainly relevant.
you just have to assume I'm not going to draw something. Yeah, of course. You're just like so fucking kind. Yeah, of course. Like that's why I started attacking. Because I need you to breathe for.
It's a great start from Willie.
You're not
Yeah.
to breathe forever. Yeah.
Thought Seize into Tarmogoyf into Courser, leave you with a hand of 2 Lightning Bolts, and all my creatures survive a Lightning Bolt. It's a pretty good start.
Sean, maybe going to double Lightning Bolt this Courser of Crewfix during Willie's
During the draw step.
draw step.
So
that he
Willie
can't
drew the
play
Liliana.
free Raging Ravine.
We all see the Raging Ravine. If Willie gets to his main phase, he'll be able to play that with the Courser's ability. But yeah, I think you're right. I think Sean is going to kill the Courser of Crewfix before the end of the draw step.
And I mean, you can't blame him.
No,
I mean,
you do what you got to do.
and some people may say like, "Oh, isn't that card advantage? She's using 2 cards." But you know, even if it is card advantage, he would have been down that card anyway if he had let him
If you
have
think
that
about the
free
fact
Raging
that-
Ravine.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
It's actually kind of a 2 for 2 there.
yeah.
He essentially destroyed Willie's next draw phase and burned him for 1 because he doesn't gain the life.
Nice. Which
All right.
you know, surprisingly relevant considering how last game went.
Okay.
That 1 extra forest.
So
off.
Liliana ticks up. Willie discards his other copy of Liliana. Sean discards the plains. Tarmogoyf, thanks to the Liliana, and the creature is now
It's also an enchantment.
4? Oh, right. Courser's an
Courser,
enchantment
it's a
creature. So
5.
Liliana. So Tarmogoyf's a 5.
Note 6. Instant
6?
sorcery, land, creature, enchantment, planeswalker.
Very nice.
That's a big boy.
He is not messing around.
Of course, there being an enchantment, that interaction with Tarmogoyf is nothing to scoff at here.
A speed bump, maybe. Liliana may just take it out. Tech Edge on the Ravine, sure. Don't want that getting added to the attack. Wow, yeah, Willie was threatening lethal next turn, wasn't he? Tarmogoyf plus Ravine. Do you tick down Liliana here or up?
Oh, he's going to tick down.
Yeah, I like it. Kill the Wall of Omens.
Also puts Sean
Get
into
through with
burn
Tarmogoyf.
range, you know? Ooh,
Yeah.
and he has a Ravine, too.
Lightning Bolt is lethal, Tarmogoyf is lethal, Raging Ravine is lethal. I think we might be ready for game 3.
Looks that way. Is that a Snapcaster Mage?
Quite possibly.
Yeah, then, I mean,
Gets a path.
he's got some time.
So Snapcaster in the middle of combat can both allow him to path the Tarmogoyf and also jump block the Ravine
Correct?
without being vulnerable to Liliana. Willie declines to add the Ravine to the attack. It's even better then, right?
And now he gets to keep the Snapcaster around. And then he actually, next turn, if he draws another land, then he gets to blink that Snapcaster or the Restoration Angel and get a bolt again. There's still a very real game ahead of us here.
Now, would you kill Snapcaster with Liliana? Or do you take Liliana up?
I think it depends on what's in your hand.
If you have an easy discard, you go up?
I think if you have an easy discard plus a creature that you want to play.
Yeah, I mean, Snapcaster can just attack Liliana.
Yeah, I don't think you go up unless you have something that blocks Snapcaster Mage or something that's going to kill Snapcaster Mage that you want to cast this turn.
He must have something, given that he declined to attack with Raging Ravine.
Well, I mean, he didn't have the land to do it, I don't think. Does he have another land in hand, do we know? Because Raging Ravine costs 4 to activate. Then again, he...
I mean, he just fetched for his 4th land, right?
no, Path.
Oh, Path got him the land.
Yeah.
My bad.
It looks like a black card in hand for him, so...
Jonathan Burns and Zach Fritsch. Your modern 8-man is ready.
Some type of discard spell, maybe?
Jonathan Burns and Zach Fritsch. Your modern 8-man is ready to fire.
So Liliana goes down in order to kill the Snapcaster Mage. Dark Confidant comes out in order to fuel Willie. Fuel up the tank, running out of gas.
So this is interesting. See, now Sean has a Lightning Bolt, which he's going to have to aim at that Confidant right now. Otherwise, he gives Willie a free card. Oh, no, I guess he's...
Wow. He's planning to kill Confidant with a surprise Angel block.
I think so. I think he just attacks the Ravine, though. Oh, no, attacks the both.
Yeah, you have to respond to the trigger by bolting the Ravine. And now you can Angel to block Bob. Yeah,
And
that makes
that's,
sense. He had
you know,
to
just a
use the
blow-up.
Lightning Bolt because the Raging Ravine would just beat up the Angel in combat. He can't bolt Bob. He had to give him the draw.
You're right.
Which, I mean, it was a Tarmogoyf. It was a good card. But he does now get to Angel to just eat Bob. Oh, surely he has a land that comes into play untapped. He doesn't have a land to play untapped. Isn't that lethal?
Yep.
Wow.
He doesn't have another mountain.
No land to fetch.
Didn't notice.
Oh,
His
wow.
basics that were on color were all...
Right, because he discarded that Plains earlier to Liliana.
Wow.
Couldn't find the land to play untapped off that fetch land that he needed to cast the Angel to eat the Bob. That board
Willie
would've
has a
been-
good smile on his face right now.
Jeez. And John, showed him the Angel. I mean, Willie did have the Tarmogoyf to follow up with, so Sean wouldn't actually have stabilized the board there. And obviously, as soon as Willie draws a Lightning Bolt, the game's just over.
He wasn't out of the woods yet, but he was on his way.
You could see the light at the end, you know. The trees were starting to get a little thinner.
Yeah.
If you're enjoying this weekend, stay tuned on the upcoming weekends. Got lots more Magic for you. Pro Tour Journey into Nyx is next weekend. That is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday coverage. Should be a good one. Grand Prix Atlanta then follows up. We'll be doing Theros Block Sealed and Draft on the following weekend. Everybody's just going to be hanging out in town. Lots of pros. Grand Prix Manchester is the weekend after that. Block constructed GP. If you enjoy the Pro Tour, you know, that's going to be fun to watch. That I always like how the schedule usually sets up after the Pro Tour. There's usually a GP with the same format, 1 or 2 weeks later.
And one of the things I like about the GP that's following the Pro Tour in the same constructed format is that a lot of the time you get pros traveling from all over the world to that event.
Right.
And it's the pros who really loved their deck at the Pro
Right.
Tour. Sometimes, you crush the constructed portion, you just have a bad showing in limited, and you don't make it in the top 8, and you're like, you know what, I want to run it back. I need another shot. I didn't give this deck its due, so.
Find a ticket to Manchester. Grand Prix Moscow and Chicago will then follow up, and DC and Milan are both Theros Block limited on the weekend after that. So if time becomes relevant, I'm being told these guys have 5 extra minutes and 2 extra turns. I don't know. I didn't know about
how that works.
the +2 turns bit. Can you see the clock, Rashad? How much time's actually left in the round? 12 minutes. The only clock I can see is for a side event happening on the other end of the room. It threw me off a couple rounds ago. Not a useful clock. Game 3 is underway. Celestial Colonnade for Sean. Raging Ravine for Willie. And Sean's turn 2. Do you think Jun's favored in this matchup?
I think so. Just in general. Maybe not anymore, though. I mean,
don't
they
know.
don't really have the same type of... without Deathrite Shaman, it probably changes things quite a bit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm probably biased by the fact that I love playing decks like Sean's and I hate playing decks like Willie's. I'm having trouble getting outside of my own head to measure it objectively, but...
So, because I'm much more likely to be playing decks like Willie's.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You just...
I like Thoughtseize and Dark Confidant, and with Tarmogoyf.
Yeah, I like
Snapcaster
Instance.
Mage. I like Snapcaster
Yeah,
Mage a lot
Snapcaster
also.
Mage
I
is-
get that.
Snapcaster Mage is better than any card in Willie's deck.
I will agree with that. I'll agree with that. Snapcaster Mage might be better than any other card in Modern, though. So.
Yeah, and why are you choosing to play a deck without it? No. I have the best card in the format, and I have a combo kill, and I have a whole bunch of instants.
Dark Confidant, pretty good. Another nice 2-mana human wizard.
Yeah, if it survives. I think there's a lightning bolt.
Yeah, Sean has a myriad of ways in which he can dispatch of that. Electrolyze.
Electrolyze is usually the best, although it forces him to tap out.
Yeah, and then he can't remand on the following turn. So
Does he have a remand?
it looks like he does. So I think
If
we'll
he has a
probably see a
remand, I
bolt.
think I would just main phase bolt. Don't let him draw a card. And I'll draw a card off my Electrolyze later. Inquisition of Kozilek, interesting. There's a remand and a path as targets. You could path here.
Yeah, and Electrolyze. Oh,
I
all
mean,
of those are targets, right?
Oh, yeah, right, Electrolyze. Oh, you can get the Sphinx's Revelation too, huh?
Inquisition of Kozilek, a very good discard spell
it's
in this
quite
Modern
good.
format.
Yeah, it hits almost everything. It doesn't hit, say, a Splinter Twin, but
It misses Splinter Twin, Kiki Jiki,
It
like
hits-
Archangel of Thune. With the big thing that it misses is Birthing Pod because
Yeah.
of that Phyrexian mana on there.
right.
And that's one of the reasons that Birthing Pod is so good in this format is that it dodges that Replicate. It dodges Inquisition of Kozilek. Just it costing 4 is kind of an advantage
Even though it always costs 3.
because it costs 3 and then dodges all of these things that actually would have.
Pretends to cost 4.
Yeah. Dealt with it.
All right, Tarmogoyf does run into a remand. Makes sense.
Jacob Wilson, please come to the side event table. Jacob Wilson.
Ooh, Mana Leak. Tarmogoyf's not going to come back down again.
Sunday Super Series standard at Norm
Yeah, and Willie will not see this. Will not see this Mana Leak coming.
No. And he just drew a Dark Confidant, which is going to be destroyed by Electrolyze. And replay Tarmogoyf makes sense, but yep. Sean's had 2 draw phases since then. One off the remand, one off his normal turn draw phase. One of them was a Mana Leak. Declines to play Bob there? I guess he knows about the Electrolyze.
Yeah, he's seen
He's
it
not going to
already.
play Bob into Electrolyze. He's going to hope to draw another Thoughtseize or Inquisition. Or maybe Sean will get bored and Electrolyze just to draw a card.
Yeah, and I mean that's very likely to happen.
Seems like the right play. It's always tough when you have a card like Electrolyze. Like, your opponent has seen your hand. You have not seen your opponent's hand. It always feels like it's not doing anything. You just cycle through it, and then all of a sudden, oh, it was doing all this work you just didn't know about. You didn't realize how much pain your opponent was in.
Doing commentary, you actually learn a lot about those types of situations. You're like,
It's
oh
true.
man,
It's absolutely true.
You're like, I play Electrolyze so bad. Whenever I have it, it's just like
There's never a
I
target.
just dome my opponent. Draw a card. And you watch the matches, and it's just stifling somebody into oblivion.
Scavenging Ooze is pretty good here. Tarmogoyf is the only food.
Yeah, it still gets blocked by this Wall of Omens, but
True. There's also this weird dance where Willie can't ever go to eat the Tarmogoyf, or it'll get electrolyzed as a response. Okay, Sean goes for Restoration Angel. Now here is a window where Willie could eat the Tarmogoyf. I think he probably should. Also has a Slaughter Pact. The Angel is going to resolve. It is going to trigger the Wall of Omens. So this is all during Willie's end step. And yeah, Willie's going to eat the Restoration Angel along with the Tarmogoyf. Oh, and a Dark Confidant, right. There were two creatures, so it wasn't nearly the stalemate I thought.
it also removes
Even
that
if
exile.
Interesting.
Yeah, instead of the Tarmogoyf, and the reason he's doing that is just to prevent some sort of Snapcaster shenanigans, because now now there are no longer any cards in Sean's graveyard that could, deal with that Scavenging Ooze.
Lightning Bolt would right now. Oh no, it's 4.
It's a 4/4. Yeah.
He ate. Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, Path was the only Scavenging Ooze answer. But he pays for his Slaughter Pact.
The Scavenging Ooze is quite good against Snapcaster Mage.
Oh yeah, definitely.
First event, please report to green stage.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not quite Deathrite Shaman, but
It's not a Deathrite Shaman, but
it's still very good. Relic of Progenitus. Willie is probably going to respond by eating the rest of the creatures, right? Lightning Bolt and Tarmogoyf. Sean's going to start whittling away at the rest of Willie's graveyard. So Scavenging Ooze is up to 5/5. Sean is at 13. Game 3 here. The winner is in great shape for top 8. The loser's still alive.
Yep.
Both these guys are in the top 8 of the standings right now, but still got 3 rounds to play. This one and 2 more.
And again, we're in a very tight game.
Indeed.
It's one of the great parts about this modern format is that so many of the games are so close.
Super Sunday sealed player.
Electrolyze you. I need to draw a card. And Willie's like, finally, I'm going to get to play my Dark Confidant next turn.
We're waiting so long.
Sean's going to be like, oh, why do they always draw the Dark Confidant right after I play my Electrolyze? Scavenging Ooze continues to eat Sean's graveyard while Relic whittles away at Willie's. Colonnade. Scavenging Ooze can't even be blocked effectively by Colonnade.
Yep.
Willie doing everything that he can to minimize any future Snapcasters. Yep, everything's gone down to just a couple fetch lands.
Thank you.
You want to take 6? You want to lose your Wall of Omens? Sean says, I don't want to take 6. Thoughtseize.
And this is interesting because Sean, I mean, he has Sphinx Revelation in hand. Willie knows about it.
Red for 2 is a response.
If you signed up
Is that the
for
right
a
play?
modern
I think it's the right play.
report to fire,
I mean, it's hard. Like, you can't counter it.
come over to start.
The Mana
Right.
Lake and the Remand don't work, and then you're going to lose that Revelation anyway.
All right, 2 fresh cards drawn. This is the hand. Path, Snapcaster, Celestial Purge, Remand, Mana Leak. Celestial Purge does not kill Scavenging Ooze.
It does not. So
But
you have
Path
to take that
does.
Path Exile, and then
And
you
then
can
you
remove
can
it.
eat the Path with the Scavenging Ooze
Yep.
so that it can't get Snapcastered.
And so Willie.
Wow, everything coming up Willie.
Yeah.
Sorry, just confirming. Plays the Tarmogoyf, but he still does have that Dark Confidant in his hand, right? He
Still has the
declined.
Dark Confidant. He knows that Sean has the what is the card called? Celestial Purge in hand.
Got it.
So, and then if he casts another spell on his turn, then he would not have the mana to exile a Path Exile with Scavenging Ooze, and he needs to leave open that green to be able to exile the Scavenging Ooze. That is, right now, the most important part of this game, really. Tarmogoyf, instant sorcery land currently. So if you pay
Tarmogoyf not
3
nearly
for
as
it-
excited as before Scavenging Ooze and Relic started doing all their work. Yeah. Eats the path with a mana available to eat it again should Sean try to flash down a Snapcaster. What are we on? Land creature instant sorcery for Tarmogoyf?
Yep.
Actually, when you tap that.
Sean, he has to relic himself now to shrink the Tarmogoyf, which is a pretty relevant shrink, because now Wall of Omens can block it. Willie, I'm sure, would have chosen one of the two sorceries. He's done a pretty good job with the relic of preserving future Tarmogoyfs by only taking duplicate card types.
Great for competitors. Now it's time in the round. Active player, finish your turn. You have 5
So time has just been called. These guys, though, have a 5-minute time extension. Fulminator Mage. Mana Leak? Yes, Mana Leak. But hey, guess what? Now there's a creature in the graveyard again. That Fulminator Mage was getting into the graveyard one way or the other. Like, I don't know if I'm going to resolve or not, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be in the graveyard by the time Tarmogoyf needs me.
He would have liked to get that colony off the table, though.
Sure.
Or I guess there are two
It's
of
not
them.
that bad to get a Mana Leak out of Sean's hand.
Super Sunday
And yeah, the
Super
duplicate
players.
colonnade.
Round 4 has begun.
Okay, so Sean's like, fine. I will activate the sacrifice ability of Relic. All cards are gone from all graveyards. I get to draw a card, and your Tarmogoyf is puny. Oh, by the way, I take 6 from Scavenging Ooze. Well, he did draw a Lightning Bolt, which he could theoretically use to kill Tarmogoyf. It's the Scavenging Ooze that's the real problem. Tech Edge, which can deal with the Raging Ravine. Oh, he's going to Colonnade plus Bolt.
Seems like it.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I like that line a lot.
It means that Lightning Bolt can no longer kill Tarmogoyf,
That's true.
but the Wall of Omens can still block Tarmogoyf. Now, what's Willie got? Oh, jeez.
Ooh.
Replacement Scavenging Ooze. All right. Well,
One
Sean's,
down, one more to go.
Sean's play's kind of forced here. He's definitely got to bolt the 6/6.
He doesn't have much option there.
What's he got left?
Looks like he has a Remand.
He's still got that Purge.
Has that Purge in hand. And then a Snapcaster Mage.
Oh, geez, and he just drew Electrolyze. Electrolyze, not good enough to kill anything here. Potentially could as a response. If Willie had activated Scavenging Ooze to eat Scavenging Ooze, which a lot of players would do there, then Sean could have responded with an Electrolyze. But Willie's better than that.
Yeah. Willie is a platinum level.
Didn't
Magic
even
Gathering pro.
consider eating the Scavenging Ooze there.
He's like, who do you think
Why would
I
I eat
am?
the scavenging ooze? Why would I want to open up a window like that where I might get my guy blown out by electrolyze?
I mean, he'd just be changing his Tarmogoyf to 2 power and his Scavenging Ooze to 3 power as opposed to the other way around. It's
Is that Chandra?
it is a Chandra.
Well, Chandra's quite good here. A plus ability, sure. 1 damage to Sean. It's usually the 1 damage part that you're excited about, picking off mana creatures and whatnot. But you know what? That Well of Omens can't block if it takes a damage from Chandra. So Sean's like, no, not having any of that. Put that back in your hand. Oh, Lightning Bolt's huge. Lightning Bolt can kill Scavenging Ooze.
Yeah, Lightning Bolt does kill Scavenging Ooze.
There's
That's a big
only
one.
1 creature to eat. And Wall can still block Tarmogoyf, right? Creature instant land?
Yeah, the 4 minutes is what we just went through. Oh, the fixture? Yes. So we're now in the 7th.
Think they're still in their time extension? Was Sean out of red mana? Surely. Oh, that's the Steam Vents. He's got
Yeah,
one.
he has a pair of Steam Vents
Okay,
there.
great.
And a Hallowed Fountain.
Okay, this is turn 0 of 7. Time has just been called. These guys could legitimately draw here.
Yes, it's definitely a
I mean,
possibility.
it looks to me like Sean has stabilized, but he's nowhere close to winning. Yeah, and they did have a 2-turn extension, so turn 0 of 7.
All right, so now Willie's got to figure out whether or not he wants to exile this other ooze. I mean,
To gain a life.
it's just going to gain him a life, but here, he's going to extra turns. He has to decide whether or not that extra life could mean the difference between life or death. He knows that his opponent has a creature in hand, right? I mean, it's...
Oh, he's actually going to use it to eat the lightning bolt from Sean's graveyard.
Ooh, I'm surprised he didn't use it to eat the remand, considering the...
The Chandra.
Yeah.
He may not be done.
Oh. Okay.
So this is Willie's attack phase. I'm pretty sure Wall of Omens blocked Tarmogoyf. And I know Sean is now bolting Scavenging Ooze. Okay, Scavenging Ooze took out a Remand and a Lightning Bolt. On the way out. Wall of Omens and Tarmogoyf bounce. Sean stays at 9. Sean is going to play a Snapcaster. He is going to flashback Lightning Bolt. Oh, the fact that Willie ate the other 2 instants means there's no instants in the yard, and this Lightning Bolt kills the Tarmogoyf? Is that true? No, it goes to the graveyard before it resolves. Creature land.
No, but it's getting removed from the game because of the Snapcaster Mage.
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
Because the Snapcaster Mage gives it flashback, it's not going to go to the graveyard, and it can, in fact, actually kill this Tarmogoyf.
Yep.
Wow. So Willie's attempt to prune away Snapcaster targets is actually going to cost him his Tarmogoyf.
Talk to us, and we may be able to find your lost pen.
Oops.
Reminder, Magic players, we have a lost and found.
Yep. And now Sean is completely stabilized. In fact, he's kind of pulling ahead a little bit. Turn 1 of 7. It's not enough turns for Snapcaster to win, but Snapcaster plus Colonnade is 3 attack phases. He does have 3 attack phases. And that 1 life that Willie could have gained, if he gets killed for Xaxes, he's going to really regret the way Scavenging Ooze went out.
Yeah.
Turn 2.
Turn 2 of 7. Willie does have a Raging Ravine. Sean has a Tectonic Edge that he can use to blow it up. Willie has Chandra in his hand that we know about. That Sean knows about, and he goes to replay it. Sean says, okay, down goes Snapcaster. And now here's that Dark Confidant from a million years ago.
Yeah, so Celestial
Along with a
Purge
second
deals with
Raging
Chandra.
Ravine. Yeah, Celestial Purge does deal with Chandra. We know there's an Electrolyze to deal with Dark Confidant. I can't imagine that not happening here. Man, this is tight. And it's turn 3 of 7. So Sean has this one. He also gets turn 5. He also gets turn 7. So he needs to deal... Is Willie really at 18? Didn't Willie take 6 down to 12 last turn?
Yeah, I thought so.
Rashad, can you check the life totals? I thought Willie took 6 down to 12 last turn. All right, Sean is going to send in the Colonnade. So that'll drop Willie to 8.
If you are waiting for your legacy 8-man, good news, it is firing. Please come to the main stage.
Yeah, Electrolyze,
Legacy 8-man.
Dark Confidant, and you. Willie's at 7. And Sean does have 2 attack phases left, so Colonnade alone can get it done. Now, he can get hit by a Ravine this turn, or he can jump a Wall of Omens with it. Okay, Inquisition of Kozilek. No targets. Wrath of God,
Ooh.
Restoration Angel.
I mean, Restoration Angel's a really nice one to have here.
Yeah.
Then again, I mean, Colonnade is
mean-
probably getting activated, so...
Right, 2 Colonnade activations will get the job done. Restoration Angel doesn't appreciably change the clock. Willie sends in a Raging Ravine, which seems correct. Sean is not interested in being in Lightning Bolt range. He's just going to chump with his Wall of Omens. Turn 5 of 7. Electrolyze doesn't change the clock. Seems like you activate Colonnade, leave up Tectonic Edge, and plan to activate Colonnade again, right? Is Sean McLaren
all
going to
you can
win
really
this on
do.
the last possible turn? At least it's not Xaxes. At least it's not the one
the
life he
ooze.
declined with that Scavenging Ooze. And I don't think that Tarmogoyf would have been super relevant here. It would have been being blocked by Wall of Omens the whole time. There's the hand. Wow. On the last extra turn, Sean McLaren moves to 12-1. Willie Edel picks up a second loss, but